I'm Lookum23. You're joining me for Drumline Chapter 13. Summer has melted into fall, while Marco hasn't done anything since Shark Day. You're still anxious. He's made it clear several times he's just biding his time. You're working extra hard today to make up for being benched during last week after getting the flu. Getting sick brought out the worst in your temper and turned Laird into a freaking nursing nightingale. Laird spent this week acting like your cancer was back. He was hovering so much that you had to remind him that he was a software engineer, not a doctor. God, he was nearly as bad as my mother, and I don't know how many times I told him it was just a stomach flu. I'd be fine. Speaking of which, you only answered her calls with a short text for the first 2 weeks. Guilt adds to the weight of the snare drum weighing heavily on your shoulders. Or maybe it's just lingering dehydration from the flu? Either way, I need to get it together. I've struggled during this entire practice, and I quit sweating 20 minutes ago. That's never a good sign. By the time practice ends, you're sure you haven't regained your spot on the field for the game. You'll have to try again on Thursday. The equipment room smells like Guy's gym back along with your trampled grass. As you put away your gear, you tuck your sticks back into your bag. I'll have to practice tonight on the drum pad in my dorm later, if I want to catch up and regain my spot on the field. The rest of the team are putting away their gear and laughing, but Laird is slumped against the wall a few feet away, scrubbing his face with his hands. He's been under a lot of pressure lately, trying to get his final project done for one of his classes. Laird is building out a mobile game prototype, but it's not going as well as he wanted. Did you get the bug in your game worked out by your midnight deadline? He had until midnight last night to turn in the next stage of his project. No. His voice is curt as he looks at his phone impatiently, checking something on the screen. But I got the professor to give me an extension until tomorrow night, since my game was more ambitious than most. That's good. Yeah, you feeling okay? You had a rough practice? Yours burned with a flush, he is right, but you'd hoped it wouldn't be noticeable. I'm just having an off day. Did you drink enough water in the field? Probably not. I'm gonna have to get back to my place. I'm trying to get my place back off the bench. Well, you're not going to do it if you're not taking care of yourself. Thanks, Dad. Laird is short-tempered and distracted right now. He's still gorgeous, but stress radiates from like steam from a hot sidewalk after a rain. You slide closer and lean against the blessed cool concrete wall beside him. You know what I bet would make you feel better? Your brother. With the things you've told me about Garrett, it seems like you're close. Have you thought about giving him a call? Seeing if he can make it to the game this weekend? My brother? The whole room freezes as if someone had paused a video. No one moves or speaks, but it doesn't appear the eyes focus on you and Laird. He's gone rigid, the blood draining from his face. What? Alarm is rippling through your body. You can barely breathe through the tension. Wow, hotshot. I can't believe you went there, bringing up his dead brother like that. Good one. Marco starts a slow clap, but nobody else joins in. What? Your eyes whip to Laird, but all you catch is his back as he charges out the door. Pushing it open is so hard it slams back against the wall in its wake. He's dead? Your mind spins, trying to put together the broken puzzle pieces of your prior conversations, trying to see the whole instead of just the edges. What happened? When? How? You really don't know? Marco, if I had known, I wouldn't have asked. Marco gives you his trademark scowl and crosses his arms over his chest. If Laird hasn't told you, I don't know why I should bother. Listen, I don't care what you think of me, but I don't hurt people on purpose. Now please, just tell me. Cancer. Leukemia or something, when he was a kid. It messed Laird up real bad for a long time. Leukemia? The word hits you like a sledgehammer, and you slide to the floor, covering your face with shaky hands. Fucking girls, this is why we never had them on the line. Grunts of agreement come from around the room, and Marco walks out before you can find any words to reply. Leukemia. Just like me, but unlike me, Garrett didn't survive. Was this why he was with me? Did he just want to save me where he failed his brother? Your stomach churns with acid. Have you misread everything? What was this thing going on between you and Laird? Smith wraps his arms around you as the rest of the line flies out the door. What have I done? Smith just shakes his head and lets you cry. Everyone else knew about but you. Smith, do you think he'd hit it on purpose? Did you know about this too? Smith shrugs. Yeah, it just never came up in the conversation. No, I wasn't keeping it from you. So he didn't trust me enough to tell me about it. After all we've shared. I knew of this because I heard it from my mom. Your heart breaks in that moment, because you realize that you don't know if you can trust Laird now either. Smith holds you tight as you cry for all the lost possibilities. Somehow you make it back to your door. You can't just text Laird, you're going to have to actually talk to him. An hour later, you're bundled up on your bed with your phone in hand, and Laird answers on the second ring. Hey, Laird. I know, I should have told you about Garrett. And I will. But not right now. Not while I have this damn project hanging over my head, and I need to focus on getting it done. No distractions. You blink, not saying anything, because suddenly you realize that you fall into the distraction category. Look, this project is my whole grade for this class, and he keeps talking, laying justifications on about needing the elective to graduate on time, but it's just noise in your ear at this point. Okay, we'll talk later. You don't get a chance to reply before he hangs up. Are you kidding me? You don't hear from Laird again for the rest of the night, and all the next day when your phone buzzes with a text, your heart leaves. Extras practice tonight because somebody didn't have their shit together yesterday. 7 at Shark Tank, no drums. We're just going over choreography. Laird won't be there. He's got that project due. I saw him handling this one. A frown of irritation creases your brow. It's already after 5, and a quick glance out the window shows storm clouds rolling in. Text Marco back. I'll ask Smith to bring me. Oh, is that how girls do things? They ask others to do the hard work for him? You nearly throw your phone across the room in frustration and anger. I didn't know what to reply. Skipping didn't sound like an idea. It said mandatory, and... Fine. I'll walk across campus in a freaking storm, Marco. You happy? I'm going to be. The dude's a dick, like he gives a shit. By the time you reach the stadium on the far side of the campus, the clouds have moved firmly into the offensive position. Fine by me. This matches my mood perfectly. The field is empty, and it becomes clear that this is either a private practice or everyone else is late. Instantly wary, you slow, pausing to stow your bag with your phone where it will stay dry under the overhang. I've got this. I can handle Marco. I've dealt with him since the beginning of the season. There are only a few weeks left in the season. I can do this. Marco leans against the opposite goal post, and the rain starts spitting, lowering the temperature as you approach. You sucked yesterday at practice. I noticed. Laird noticed. Everyone fucking noticed. I'm sorry. I think you're weak, Reese. I don't think you can keep up. I don't think you belong on the line. Yet here I am, taking time out of my busy-ass schedule to come down here just to help you. You suck in a breath, purposely keeping a few feet distance between you. Listen. I'll do better. I know you don't like me, but you can't just say I didn't earn my place on the team fair and square. I'm a good drummer. Yeah, I don't know if you are, Cupcake. I will do better, and I'll show you. We'll see. Take position. I've got music on my phone. I want to see what you can do. Taking your mark on the midway point of the 30-yard line, you look over to where he's positioned himself on the 50. Ready? He presses a screen, and you can barely hear the end of the previous song over the wind. You keep your shoulders back and start the choreography. It's a crap show. You miss beats, fumble the song, and end up closer to the sidelines. Marco cuts the music and stomps over to you where you're standing, your hair is dripping, and the water is squishing in your socks. What the fuck was that? A new Bon Jovi classic, stunningly reimagined by the Rodner University Marching Band? Oh, you seem out of breath, Nan. Is stamina the problem? He reaches out to wipe off the water running down your cheek, and you recoil from his touch. Don't touch me. He smiles an earnest, magnanimous smile that immediately puts you into a fight-or-flight mode. Maybe running some stadiums would help. A little extra cardio for missing practice last week. Your eyes skip up the endless rows of seats while the shark tank is in the steepest Death Valley at Clemson and is still a long way up. I wonder if you do this to the other guys. The other guys don't get up like you do, Reese. That's the most misogynist bullshit I've ever heard. You know that I'm just as good as, if not better, than the other guys on the line. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a whiny who can't do what their vet tells her to do. Thunder crashes overhead, causing you to duck. Marco laughs and slides like a foul oil slick over your skin. Your chin juts out. Nobody gets to laugh at you. You're surviving too much for that. You're strong now. If Marco wants me to run up and down these fucking stairs, fine. I'll run them. How many? He shrugs. His eyes glitter like with malice. I usually do the whole west and south sections myself. Since you're a girl, though, maybe just the west? The west and south. Got it. You take off your bag, and without looking back, you take off at an easy lope, knowing you need to warm up your muscles before you ratchet up to a faster pace. The seats in the bleachers rattle as the lightning hits closer. You falter, but you keep climbing, all the way up and down, over and over again. As you splash up and down the steps, your mind drifts to Laird. What would he think of this evening? He'd probably be furious and would have put a stop to this long before now. I can't tattle to him, though. No special privileges. If I'm going to keep my spot on the drumline, I'm going to have to do it on my own. Clench your jaw and keep climbing. Your sweat mixes with the downpour, and the combination burns your eyes. Marco lunges near the bottom of the section you're on, watching you from beneath the soaked brim of a ball cap. He seems bored with the whole thing. I'm not going to stop him. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of me giving up. You're about a dozen steps from the bottom when it happens. Your right foot slides out from under your weight, and despite throwing your arms out to catch yourself, you plummet down the stairs. You cry out sharply before your jaw smacks into the ground, silencing you as you tumble to the bottom, pain radiating throughout your entire body. I warned you, Drumline isn't a place for girls. Your eyes blink open, and you see Marco standing over you, smiling like it's Christmas morning. He reaches down and pats you on the head like you're a dog, and then saunters away. It takes several tries to stand up, blood streaming onto the concrete stairs. Everything hurts, and you're sure something is broken. Dear sweet guild winged angels on call this shittiest of nights. Please let my phone battery still have juice. Your battery is still half full. Relief floods your system as you unlock the screen and dial Smith. Robin. Batman needs help. Reese, what's going on? Where are you? Shark tank, I'm hurt. Can you take me to the ER? Jesus Christ, yes, don't move, I'll be right there. Smith makes you stay on the line as he rushes to the stadium. His voice is panicked, and you pass out a few times before he finally gets to you. Smith is scowling by the time the nurse has left after taking down your medical history. You don't lie to the doctors ever. They couldn't help you if they don't know the real story. Your childhood history was taught you as much. That means that Smith has heard everything from your childhood, as a leukemia to your falling down 24 concrete stairs in the middle of a thunderstorm. Tell me what happened. Just a bit of hazing gone wrong, I guess. You know how Marco is around me. You try to shrug off the rest of the story. No, don't do that. Tell me what happened, Reese. Okay, fine. Repeat the spiel. A doctor comes in, orders x-rays, and says she'll get you some pain meds, or looking at Smith like he's the culprit. After your appointment with the radiologist and some... Sorry, I had to cough. And some extra questions, trying to see if your story will change, they wheel you back in with Smith. So, leukemia? Yeah. Same as Laird's brother? Yeah. I guess. I mean, I didn't know until yesterday that Garrett had cancer, let alone that he died from it. And since I'm here, I'm not quite the same, is it? I don't even know if he had the same kind of leukemia. Laird isn't really talking to me right now. Why? Is he still upset about what happened after practice? Maybe. I don't know. He said he had to finish his video game project, too. I know he's been busy with that all week. Oh, yeah, his project. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with you. There's no doubt. That guy is crazy about you. Do you want to call him? I don't want to bother him. Are you serious? His project deadline is midnight. He's probably still working. He can't fail that class, Smith. He needs it for graduation. That's a shitty excuse, Batman, and you know it. Instead of an answer, you look away. The last thing you need is Laird even more pissed off with you. Hey, the stuff with Marco, it's been worse than you've told me, hasn't it? He tripped me a few months back during band camp. I'm sure he'd claim it was an accident, or I was clumsy or something, but I bruised my hip pretty bad when I landed on a curb. Smith swears loudly, causing a nurse nearby to shush him. What else? There's more, isn't there? You know I clean his room. Wait, speaking of that, the other week I found Grape Lollipops and 2 different sized condom wrappers. Anything you'd care to share with me? You pierce Smith with a nothing stare, and he just furrows his brow and blushes. Nothing worth sharing. After too many beers one night, Marco hit on me, and... Look, that guy focuses all his attention on you. It can be downright flattering. He's a hot senior, and yeah, it's obvious now he's a fucking prick, but he noticed me. It felt good. You know? His words come faster and faster if he just wants to get them out and put them behind him. But he's the most self-centered guy I've ever been in bed with. And let's just say we didn't both have a happy ending that night. But then, of course, the next day, when I alluded to it, he looked at me like I was crazy, and he didn't remember any of it. He said I had an overactive imagination, and he didn't swing that way. Smith, you can do so much better than him. There's a bloody understatement. No shit. Have you seen me? Oh, man. His laugh is without humor, and you squeeze his hand. But I thought about it later. With Marco, I don't think sex is about pleasure. I mean, it is, but I don't think that's what really gets him off. I think it's the dominance thing. He turns on when he controls someone, whether in the bedroom or practice field or even this whole creepy situation with you. I think you're right. After your discharge, Smith gingerly carries you to your dorm room from his car. He's got you tucked in the bed when he gives you a somber look. Oh, I didn't blow that all the way up. Sorry about that. What are you gonna do, Marco? About Marco Reese? I don't know, but I have to do something. Oh.
Okay, let's start with cavalry and...
Well, hope y'all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head on description below, links to social media or Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. There at the end, I was also posting Drumline Chapter 12, trying to get that out as quickly as possible for you folks. Oh, like I said, it's been a long day. Can I have a vacation, please? Do I have your permission? I wish. So with that being said, we have, let's see, this chapter 13. This is ads done. We can actually take a look. There's our free gem. Yay! We have, what, 2 more chapters or 1 more chapter? 2 more chapters, that's right. It goes to 16. 16 is the finale this week. For Drumline. I wish I would have gone on more. I was actually kind of enjoying this book, but I digress. Sometimes they just cancel things early, which sucks. Let's be honest, they do undoubtedly suck, but Um, with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.